Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my winter full coverage foundation routine. I'm going to show you guys how to cover up rosacea, how I get this bomb face right here. I'm going to give you guys some tips, some tricks, and I'm also going to show you guys the products that I use to get a matte face during the winter, but also just stay very hydrated and plump looking. And I'm going to show you guys everything that I do and everything that I use to achieve a bomb as face. I'm also featuring in today's video a $6 foundation from e.l.f. that I am in love with, and I think everyone needs to try this foundation because it is so good. Anyways guys, in today's video I'm also going to be doing the rest of my face. Also show you guys this eyeshadow tutorial right here, which is something very smoky, something very night out. So today we are going to be doing the whole shebang. We're going to be doing it all. I am on a roll. I am drinking a cup of coffee at, what time is it? It's about to be 10 p.m. So enough of the rambling. Don't forget to follow me on social media: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. The links are in the description box below. Thumbs it up if you like these kind of videos. Being said, if you want to learn how to recreate this eye makeup look, or if you just want to know the products on my skin, or if you just want to know how to get a bomb ass full coverage inexpensive foundation, matte yet very plump, how to get that like glow from within type of vibe, then let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's do this. I always make sure that I don't have any makeup from like the night before or just anything on my skin. I want to make sure it's nice and clean. And I do mask quite often just because I have a very weird skin, let's say that. I am normally combination skin. Like my skin gets oily around this area here, which is my T-zone, and for the most part on my outer face it's more normal to dry. One of my favorite masks to go in with, and I do use this quite often, I want to say like 3 to 4 times a week, is the Summer Fridays Overtime Mask. This is an exfoliator, but it's a very gentle exfoliator. It's not going to strip your skin or anything like that. Second thing I like to do is I like to go in with a toner. This one right here is the Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber Toner. I feel like no matter how many toners I try, I always go back to this one. This one, it doesn't sting, it doesn't like make my skin feel any type of way, so I really like this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wet the cotton round, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean my face with this. Something always comes out, you guys. Like, my face is always dirty. This might seem a little bit extra for a lot of you guys, but for me it is not. It is key that I do this in my foundation routine, especially right now during the winter time. I am almost out of the Truth Serum by Ole Henriksen, and I love this stuff, you guys. I am 105% sure that this has helped my rosacea a ton. Not only has it helped my rosacea a ton, you guys, but it's also helped around my mouth. Normally around my mouth I am dark, and I don't know why, but I feel like it's helped a lot. Most of the time I'm not wearing makeup, any makeup at all, but I do go in with this, and I feel like it definitely does make a difference. I use one pump, that is all you need. And first I like to go in and apply it everywhere. Yeah, I wanna run off. I also like to drag this down my neck, and then I just like to press it onto my skin. I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but it almost has like a sticky, see, like a sticky feel to it. This just hydrates my skin so good, you guys. Like, also rarely have any like large visible pores anymore. I used to have really large and intense pores, and foundation usually never sticks on this area, but I feel like that product really has helped my skin a lot. During the day, my favorite moisturizer is this one right here. I do use the regular one, but I don't know where it's at, but this one is the exact same thing. I just feel like this one is more hydrating than the one in the original tube, but this is the Happy Hydration Face Cream by e.l.f. I love this packaging though. It's like a frosted white pearly shade. This one is very nourishing, and to me I feel like it's a little bit thicker than the Ole Henriksen one, and that's why I like to go in with this one during the daytime. So I'll take about that much, and it's probably a little bit too much, but I like it. I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but it is a bit thick and it really just soaks into your skin, like it sinks in. To me, I feel like the number one reason why foundation cracks and separates, especially in the winter time, and especially if you have dry skin, is because you don't have a good moisturizer, a good base underneath your foundation. So that's why I like to go in with all of these products. And I also am gonna go with a primer. The primer that I love is this one right here by ColourPop. This is the Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. So this one doesn't do much for the longevity of my makeup, but I do feel like it hydrates my skin. And I do feel like it makes the foundation just look very plump, you know? It's just extra hydration for my skin. You obviously don't need to apply all of this, but this is just what I recommend if you are dry skin and you're looking for a good foundation routine. So this is the routine that works out for me, but if you're looking for a primer that's going to prolong the longevity of your makeup, something more with a sticky base, and you're more, I want to say like normal to combination skin, the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer works wonders. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but my skin looks a little bit more dewy, a little bit more glowy. The foundation that I've been loving from the drugstore, you guys, it's the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I wish there was more product in here. There isn't, so we gotta do what we gotta do, right? I actually have several backups of this. Here I have another one. I'm pretty sure there's another one in my drawer, and then I do have 2 more on their way. I should be getting them with their new primers that they've just launched. So this is a medium to full coverage. You can definitely build it. It's not going to look cakey, crumbly. It's not going to look dry. It is a satin finish, but it is also oil free. So I love it because even though I have a very glow from within and my skin looks a little bit more on the radiant side right now, I am going to mattify the heck out of my skin with powder, and the foundation is a satin finish, so it's not going to be super dewy and the products are not going to slide all over. You guys will see towards the end, but I do love it because it's not a super mattifying foundation and it's not a super dewy foundation, so I feel like it just pairs well with all of the products that I already have on my skin, and that's exactly the routine that I like for the winter. I do have mine in the shade Vanilla, which is a light with golden undertones, and my favorite tool to apply it is their sponge. The e.l.f. sponge is so good, you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take 1 pump like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply it all over just like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the sponge and I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out. Individual review on this foundation. I talk about this foundation a lot here on my channel. It smells very high-end. I love the coverage. As you can see, I feel like it's a very underrated foundation and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. The only thing that was like their downside, I guess you can say, was their shade range and the amount of product that it has. They recently expanded their shade range, and that's the reason why I have Vanilla. I used to use Sand before, but this is one of my all-time favorite foundations, like all-time favorite foundations. And this is also only $6, you guys. $6 freaking dollars. You know, what is your go-to foundation for the winter months? This is a foundation that I'll use if I'm trying to go glam, but for the most part, like an everyday kind of routine, this is obviously not what I use. I have something different that I like to use for an everyday basis, just because I don't like to go full coverage. I'm not trying to go full coverage and full glam. I'll use something else, but for the most part, if I'm going glam, this is my vibe right now. Alright guys, so moving on to cream contour, I'm gonna go into the NYX Pro Foundation palette, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here, and I'm gonna begin to warm my skin up a little bit. I obviously want to look a little bit more bronze, a little bit more tan during the winter, just because obviously I'm pale as can be. There's not like much sun or heat that you can get color in, so that's why I like to mimic the appearance of a little sunburn. Look super crazy, you guys. I know, don't you worry. Now I'm gonna move on to concealer, and I'm gonna be using the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Light Nude. So this is a little bit more on the matte side, but I really love the coverage of this concealer, you guys. And even though it's a matte concealer, I feel like I can still pull it off during the winter, just because the foundation is a satin finish, and besides we have all of that moisture underneath, so it's really just going to, all of the matte products just look very nice. This is also one of my favorite concealers as far as drugstore. guys, so now that everything is blended, I'm going to go ahead and set my skin with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. The reason why I'm using this one is because this one is very light. It's not too thick of a powder. And it also just gives me a beautiful airbrush finish. It's actually my favorite powder. The summertime, when I get more oily, I do like to go in with like different powders. But for the winter, this has been my jam. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some powder and begin to set my entire face. I wanna run off and fly. For bronzer, I'm gonna try this one right here by ELF. It looks a little too orange, but we are gonna try it out. And for blush, I'm taking Baddie on the Block by Kylie. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana. I'm going to go ahead and clean. Now we're going to move on to the eyes, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and prime my lids with the CoverGirl True Naked Queenship in the shade. I have no idea what this shade is. I hate all this overthinking. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to go into this palette right here. This is a palette by ELF that I really like. I actually already filmed a tutorial with this palette, but I don't know if that video is going to go live. I love this palette, you guys. It's a very cool tone palette, and I love the shimmery shadows. They're super pigmented, so this is what we're going to be using today. I'm going to go ahead and take a brush, and I'm going to begin to take this peachy shade right here. I think this is the first time that I try ELF shadows, or at least these new palettes, and they are so good, you guys, like really good. Now I'm going to pick up a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to begin to take this burgundy shade right here. I'm going to begin by packing it on my outer corner and then slowly work my way into my crease. And I'm just doing tiny circular motions for this. With whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to go ahead and bring it into my inner corner like so. Continue, I'm going to take that peachy shade and I'm going to go ahead and run it on my lower lash line. Is now with the exact same brush, I'm going to pick up this shade here, which is like in between like a brown and a gray. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up that with the same brush, and I'm going to intensify the outer V. I want to make it a little bit more smoky. You guys know me. I'm gonna make it a little bit more intense. Now I'm just gonna take some more of that burgundy shadow, and I'm gonna place it right above that brown because I still want that burgundy shadow to peek through. And I'm barely touching my skin. I'm just taking some more of that brown black, and I'm going to intensify this even more. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is absolutely no fallout underneath of my eyes, and it is crazy because I am working with dark colors. I like how everything looks. I'm just looking for something else, you know? Just something more oomph. I'm going to take my favorite Coastal Scents brush for my lower lash line, and I'm going to pick up some of that burgundy shadow. I'm going to go ahead and buff it. It's really smoking it out, making it very smoky, and I'm connecting it to the brown up here. Alright guys, now we're gonna move on to the rest of the eyes, and I'm going to pick up the black in the palette. It's almost like an off black. I'm going to begin by packing this on the outer V. I'm just taking some of that brown, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend the black. That same thing to this eye, just taking some of that brown, and I'm gonna begin to blend the black out. You guys, but these are my favorite types of looks, the looks where they're just blown out, smoky. That's just my vibe. I feel like I can wear this day or night. I'm going to take some of that dark brown shade in this blending brush, and I'm going to blend it on my lower lash line. Alright guys, last but not least, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is almost like a pink shimmery shadow, and I'm going to place it right here on my inner corner. I'm actually going to pick some on my finger. Ooh, look at that, so blinding. Just like that, you guys. Ooh, I love that shimmery shadow. I feel like if I didn't have nails, I feel like I could apply it better, or if I had a better brush. But love this palette, totally recommend it. Now I'm gonna go into the NYX High Glass Illuminating Powder. If you guys saw my last tutorial, I think it was my last tutorial, I talked about this, how much I've been loving it. This is basically a cream highlight, and I've been obsessed over it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some, and I'm going to apply some on my inner tear duct here. Do you guys see that? It just brings the look to a whole nother level. Do you guys see that? Okay, I love that. Alright guys, and to finish off the face, I'm going to go ahead and set everything, and I'm going to take the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. So this is a hydrating setting spray, so I really like this during the winter time because it's just going to melt all of the powder products together, and I like how everything looks with this. I'm going to go ahead and apply some highlight, and I'm going to take the NYX High Glass powder. This one is in the shade Moon Glow. It is a cream highlight, but it goes very well on top of powder as well, and I love it because it's so buttery. It's not going to accentuate any like pores, texture, anything like that. Look at that. It just gives you the most beautiful beaming glow. Alright guys, and we have come to the end of today's video. That was my current winter foundation routine. Those are the products that have been working out for my skin. Just makes my skin look very flawless, airbrushed. I love how everything looks. I love how everything holds throughout the day. Now, what is it your go-to foundation for the winter? What are your go-to products? How do you make your foundation last long? I want to know. Huge shout out to the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. If you have not tried it, I really recommend you do. I think it's a bomb foundation. As you guys saw throughout the video, I started off with a very moisturized, very hydrating base underneath, and then I did go in with like powder products, and everything just ended up looking a bit more matte than what we normally started with. But I feel like I can still rock a matte face like this during the winter because I prepped my skin very well prior to foundation application, if that makes sense. So I think skincare and prepping your skin before makeup, I think it plays such a big role on how your makeup is going to look throughout the day and how it's going to hold up. But yeah, I love e.l.f. I love their products. I think they are bomb. Anyways guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Follow me on social media, and with that said, I will catch you guys very soon in my next one. Bye guys.